A precedent case has been found which supports the contract. This precedent case is Lyon v. Home, a contract which was in 1868, which had similar circumstances that Brown v. Miller had been decided. Both of these cases involved a lack of legal capacity and lack of genuine consent. In both cases, lack of legal capacity has been shown as the plaintiffs were mentally impaired in some way. This is because they couldn't make their own decisions without the help of someone. In these two cases, the plaintiff was pressured by the defendant to make decisions when the plaintiff was not mentally capable of making their own decisions. The two cases also involve lack of genuine consent. In the two cases, genuine consent could be affected by the misrepresentation and undue influence. Firstly, misrepresentation is argued that a contract should be eluded because of misrepresentation. One party is usually seeking to shun the contract because he or she has relied on something said by the other party. In these cases, misrepresentation is shown because the defendant lied to the plaintiff in order to persuade the plaintiff into signing the contract. In the Miller v. Brown case, Brown replied on Miller's statement to enter into a contract. Secondly, undue influence has been displayed in the two cases. Undue influence occurs when one person uses the power he or she holds over another person to cause a person to enter into a contract. Undue influence is closely related to both of these cases because the psychic used her abilities to persuade or influence the plaintiff into signing over her land deed to the defendant. A contract with similar circumstances that has been decided and the opposite has been analysed. This distinguishing contract case was re Brocklehurst Estate, 1978. The main case of Brown v. Miller would be different from this case as there was no undue influence involved. The distinguishing case shows that there was not a clear relationship between the deceased and Roberts. The decision made was not forced onto the deceased, and the deceased actually made the decision by himself. In the other cases, the plaintiff would be the one that got pressured by the defendant to take a step to sign a contract, while the plaintiff hasn't even made their own mind up about it. In relation to the first case of Brown v. Miller, the remedies that would be available would be damages. The damages that could be claimed are the property if the contract has been signed, and the money borrowed from the holiday. An injunction could be applied, as a court could restrain the defendant by doing the wrongful act again. Contract law is highly relevant socially and supports the principles of equity and fairness. In society nowadays, it is very important for contracts to be fair and equal. This is so there is certainty between the parties and give the rights of parties. This means that there would be no disadvantage to a party. If there were no contracts involved in society, there would be no certainty with the trades and commerce arrangements we make. Contracts are socially relevant and support the principles of equity and fairness because with contracts there are no advantages or disadvantages to a party. With this, there would be a decrease in fraud and create a safer environment. To conclude this presentation, laws regarding contracts are always a good thing to society because it provides parties to a contract to have a fair and equal contract. Both parties will not have any advantages or disadvantages towards the other party. Contracts provide defenses for parties of a contract who have been fraudulently mistreated. If there were no contracts, there would be a lot of fraud and crime involved with the agreements we make to other people. We, as a society, have laws regarding contracts so it provides stability and certainty as well as provide a mechanism for resolving disputes. There are defenses available for the parties to a contract so the personal and economic loss could be recovered or reimbursed. Therefore, because of all the benefits a contract gives, it is always a good thing for society to have laws regarding contracts.
Created using Powtoon.